Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot and another yes, no, maybe Friday insight. Before we get into the piles and the stones, just a few housekeeping measures. The way you phrase your questions, do so in a way that if you were to get a yes would be the answer you're looking for, or at least feel positive. And the second one is the way that I'm reading these, I'm reading them for very much deeper questions, less very, not so much really black and white yes and no's. You're welcome to bring really hard line yes no's here. You're just going to have to take and leave what makes sense to you, because the way I'm reading them, it would make more sense if you were asking things such as is this the right kind of job for me, or is this job one that would be fruitful for me, instead of being like, will I get this job? Whereas the earlier question allows for more interpretation and insight, and the latter one is just like a really hard line kind of question. So bring whatever you want here, but just know if it's a really more simple question, just kind of take and leave what makes sense. Okay, let's dive into our piles. We have pile 1, which both of these rocks are just kind of from the local mountains here. So I'm going to call this Rocky Mountain 1 and Rocky Mountain 2. So pile 1 is Rocky Mountain 1 because I don't know the stone. Pile 2, we've got clear crystal quartz. Pile 3 is the Rocky Mountain 2. And then pile 4 is Howlite. Okay, for those of you that have your own methods for choosing piles, you can pause here and then jump to timestamps in the descriptions when you're ready. For the rest of you that like the breath work I do, we'll jump into that now to help get you into a good space for finding that intuition and inspiration in finding your aligned pile. Okay, so put your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability and solid foundation underfoot. And now take a deep breath into your body to ground into that and to embody into yourself. Hold that breath. Now exhale. Now take another deep breath in, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows, the third eye space. Hold that. Suck in a little more to add pressure. And now out loud, exhale, opening up your crown chakra. And now you can look over the 4 piles and ask which one is drawing you in as your aligned message. All right, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your Friday insight. Yes, no, maybe question. You guys picked this Rocky Mountain number 1 stone, as I labeled it, which I'm just going to put to the side here. So before jumping into your cards, I just want to go over some intuitive hits that came as I was preparing your pile. So I had, as I was sort of shuffling the cards, the sensation I was getting was like something like a hidden treasure, or something's coming to the surface, like a seed that's been planted is about to blossom, something like that. And then this card flipped over on me, and I'm actually just going to turn it over right now as I talk about the intuitive stuff that came through, because that ended up just sort of integrating into that. The sense I got then seeing change after I already had sort of these intuitive things coming through was like, and to add to that, so as I was shuffling to draw this card, it popped right out and I almost just turned it over out of some sort of impulse, and I had to kind of like be like, oh wait, no, I don't do that. I don't look at them. So I got this sense that whatever the answer ends up being through your cards to this question is that a change is coming in, and one that is coming in very quickly, that's going to affect this question. And whether or not it's a yes or no, something is going to blossom here, something is going to unfold here, some kind of beauty is going to be found here. So even if there's a no, it's like something is going to happen very quickly that is still going to be really positive. Yeah, so let's look at these other two cards and see if we can clarify the actual yes-no part. Between worlds, yeah, something is you're sort of about to step out of some kind of liminal space, incubation phase with this question, into something being real, being 3D, and it's really going to change something about your life, something, yeah. I get the sense that, between worlds, and then we've got the hot air balloon, there does feel like some travel might be involved here for some of you. But a shift is coming nonetheless. Let's see what your tarot card says to kind of fine tune if this is a yes or no. 7 of Swords. I think you're stepping into your own. I think you've been working hard to kind of, it's like trying to live life, or whatever your question is. It's like there's been a filter on that to do things around this question the way they're supposed to be done, the way other people do it, the way it is done kind of mode. And it's kind of stifled you. And I think you've sort of planted this seed of like, I would love to be able to just be me around this question. I'd love to step out of like feeling like there's a grayness around this into full color. But that involves me loving myself enough and accepting myself enough to just be me. But I think that change is coming. Like, I kind of want to orient the cards like this, like you're making that change. You are, let's see, that's not quite in frame, is it? You're making an internal shift where it's like you're accepting yourself enough to really step out into your full color, your full spectrum, instead of wearing the filters of the norms and kind of how others do it. Like, you've slayed, what it's coming through here is like you've slayed some shadows. You've confronted, you've walked into some shadow work, you've confronted some inner demons, you've slayed them, and you're ready to really kind of come into some change and step into your full color through really having accepted yourself. And through doing so, you're getting a big fat yes, something is blossoming. Life is going to change by doing that. So something around this question, it's like you're coming more into your own. You're kind of coming out of some shadows around this question and like embracing something much more true to you, and it's shifting things for you. the results you're going to get from this are going to feel different than the results you've had in the past, because you're now living in full color. You're coming into this question with full color. Yeah, so I mean, it feels like a pretty strong yes with that background of like good work on, confronting some deep things here. Yeah, so if this resonates, I hope it does. I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your Friday Insight with yes, no, maybe answers to your question. So before getting into the cards, I just want to talk about any intuitive hits that came as I kind of focused in on you guys as a group, your stone, and how the drawing process went. And it's interesting. Like, my norm is sort of like, I'm a very kind of neutral, easygoing person, and I'm pretty optimistic. And it was like, as soon as I switched into kind of focusing on this pile, it was like immediately I felt very unlike myself, in that there were like a lot of it's like very pessimistic feelings coming through. So just like one thing that feels like it wants to come out is like, is there some mentality around this question that could benefit from being more positive? It's like some venom needs to be sucked out here or something like that. And that absolutely doesn't mean you're getting a no. It's just sort of like an energy check that kind of came through of like, is there something you could be more positive about here? Is there some kind of emotion you're needing to transmute here? Is there something you can do to find more optimism? Is there something you can do to be kinder to yourself around this question even? Yeah, and I definitely don't get the sense that that means you're getting a no. It's just, I don't know, it's just something that came through. Because of that kind of cloud layer, it was hard for me to get a sense of the energy around the yes, no. So I'm just really gonna have to like rely on the cards completely for that here. Enlightenment. I mean, this absolutely confirms that you need to find an optimistic, something optimistic to focus on here. And if you can do that, that will guide you in the right direction with this question. That will steer you to a more elevated space, and it will put you on the right course. Clean it up. Oh, you can't make this up, you guys. This is absolutely 100% about like cleaning up something in the mentality here. Something about some pessimism, something about the mood. Clean it up. Find that, even looking on this, there's a couple little stars. Clean it up so you can find those guiding lights, that optimism, that thing that will steer you in the right direction, that will elevate where you are right now. Because there is enlightenment to be found, but for some reason, like maybe there's been things around this question that have been really draining, really hard, really like hitting your head against the wall, that have brought challenging scenarios and people, like I feel like there's a lot of baggage around this question, and it's like, right now is the time to purge anything that's just like that's clouding this, that's not working around this. And that could go deeper than your own mindset. That could go as far as like environment around the question, people around the question, literal messes around you, but there's something, if you can just kind of clear out baggage that feels like baggage right now around the questions, like you'll find a much more clear guiding compass here. Seven of Swords. Oh, that's crazy. We just got Seven of Swords in, was it last reading? Oh, because I didn't switch. You know what's funny? This was the tarot deck I was using. I'm doing a few yes nos right now because I'm going to be out of town for a few weeks. I'm trying to catalog a few. So the last series of yes nos I did, I used this tarot deck. But this series, I switched decks. And last reading, they got a Seven of Swords in that. And that's why I was confused here, because I usually take those out so I don't draw them again. I don't know. I'm weird about that. I like to take them out of the pile. So I was like, how did I get Seven of Swords again? Was I wrong on the other pile? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I used the wrong tarot deck here. And so this is coming through to me saying you're focused on the wrong thing. You need to clean it up. You need to find the optimism. You need to find the beauty of this. You're focused on the wrong. It's like there's some fixation on what other people are doing. Other people have messed up. Other people have made difficult for you. And so I'm going to draw a tarot card from the correct deck, which is going to show us the mindset that Spirit wants you to get in. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. It wants you to practice. It wants you to focus. It wants you to find diligence and dedication and your own instinct. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't worry about what other people are doing. That's how you clean it up. That's what the baggage is you need to focus on your work, your processes, your diligence, your practice, your skillfulness, and stop worrying about how other people are doing it, what other people are doing, how other people have affected this so far. At this moment, you can clear out that baggage if you would like. And so this is saying you can get the yes if you can do that, if you can switch your mindset to focus on the work and love the work and entrench yourself in the work and rid yourself of the periphery, what others are doing, what others have done, what has been done in the past, what the baggage is. Like, switch it up and you get your yes. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck. So this is dependent on you. You can get a yes if you can switch your mindset. Otherwise, you're in a hamster wheel and that won't change. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you. That was such an interesting reading how that all happened. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe. And definitely always appreciate kind and thoughtful comments. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see ya. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Friday Insight and yes, no, maybe answers to your question. So before we jump into your cards to tease out that yes, no, maybe, I always like to do, any kind of insights that came through, intuitive hits that came through as I was preparing your pile. So this kind of rocky mountain stone that you picked, as I was focusing on it, it was very paradoxical what came through. It was like, I felt really positive energy around your stone, and yet before even, and this I feel like has happened to me maybe once before even getting to your cards, there was just this deadpan, deadbeat, solid no that kept coming through, just no. And despite that, the stone felt positive and the energy around the cards felt positive. So before we even get into the cards, I am going to say that there is a no here, but I think the cards are going to reveal something beautiful despite that that's coming to you. So I'm going to do this reading as just reading something beautiful that's coming your way. No matter what these cards say, I'm reading them as something beautiful coming your way. And if all you were needing was the yes, no, we already got that. So you could even just leave this reading early if that is a bummer to you. But, you know, I think there's a silver lining here. And so let's see what the cards are. It feels like a consolation prize. It's like, okay, you didn't get a yes on this question, but you still get something great. So what is that? Opportunity. I love that. And no wonder this felt like the cards did feel very positive. So whatever is being said no to in this question means you get to say yes to some other opportunity, something great, something beautiful. And I do feel just like really positive energy here. Time for a nap. Look at these moons. They're almost identical and they're facing the opposite ways. There's another face in here and a fox down here. Night skies with stars. I think this is just saying like whatever opportunity is coming, there's nothing you need to do to make that come. There's nothing you need to do to help it along its way. It's just coming, so relax. Get a little bit of shut-eye, do some daydreaming. Maybe getting a no to this question is going to give you, for some reason, like some time and space that you wouldn't normally have. And it's like, take advantage of that. Right now is a time to decompress, to get some rest, to rejuvenate, because an opportunity is on its way to you. 5 of Swords. Interesting. And look, we have another crescent moon up here. I'm just gonna say that you're like, I think you're about to trying to figure out how to read this in the context of where I've been going. You're about to get back to your essence. I think whatever your question was about would be driving you down some similar paths that have been a little bit against your natural essence, that have been a little bit potentially even aggressive. And so getting a no here is trying to redirect you toward getting back to your more natural essence that has a more calm, not necessarily soft, just like a calm, stable kind of feeling to it. Whereas like something about your original question may have kept you in a mode of like fighting battles or fighting for things, or feeling like life is a fight. I don't know, something where it's just like it's been harsh or hard. And this is saying the no here is trying to redirect you because you've gotten away from your natural essence. And a little bit of downtime, a little bit of rejuvenation is exactly what you need to reconnect you to your personal nature. Because it's like the way you have been going around what this question is has kind of been deteriorating a little bit, harsh for you at least. Yeah, so I mean, I want to leave this on a good note is that, like, there is an opportunity coming, and it's one that's going to lead you back to you, lead you back to feeling more naturally you versus something that sort of feels a bit destructive and defensive in your life, a little bit more easy, flowing, organic. Yeah. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope it resonated. If so, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely always appreciate kind and thoughtful little comments. And I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading. It's very interesting. You're the second pile in this reading where just through the intuitive hits I kind of tune into as I prepare your pile, the answer already came. So it happened in one other reading within this series, and then that's happened to me one other time. And it was just clear, sharp, with no context. It was just this yes. It just was like, yes, it's clear. But some of the energy as I was kind of, getting your cards out was a little bit fumbly. So the way the yes came through in relation to how the cards came out, I do get the sense that there's something that you are needing to still clarify, even though there's like a hard yes here. There's still sort of like some clarifying things that need to be taken care of. Yeah, so let's look at the cards and kind of maybe get some context as to why this is yes and maybe where there's some things that need better clarity. Gateway. So this question may have something to do with kind of like something new, entering a new thing, crossing a threshold. If that doesn't sound familiar, getting a yes is going to lead you to a threshold of sorts in some way, some new mode turning on in your life due to getting a yes here. Why? Yeah. Oh, you guys, this is, these cards, they don't lie. Why? Why do you want the yes here? There's something, that's what you're needing to clarify. Why yes? Why this question? What do you want? Clarify what you want. I think that, yes. So I'm looking at this unicorn horn just as I was looking at the tip of this stone here. There needs to be a focus, a goal. What is the target here? The yes, even though it's solid and firm, will take you farther and be more meaningful if you have a target in mind around getting this yes. What is the yes for? What is it leading to? What's the big picture of the yes? Where are you hoping it takes you beyond just getting a yes? Get clear about that, and this yes can really, really bring in some big things for you, I think. Okay, last card, Knight of Cups. Some of you may be artists or creatives, theatrical even. Yeah, for some of you it could have to do with romance. For others of you it could have to do with getting some sort of creative thing up and going, creative job, creative whatever. It could be attracting in support through being kind of emotive and theatrical. you may just be connecting into that sense of you through the gateway, through getting a yes. You kind of come into feeling like more creative energy, more emotive energy, more persuasive energy. Yeah, I'm looking at this. You know, you got the beauty of the swan, but then we also have like cardinal, I think, maybe. What are red birds? Is it a cardinal? Anyway, like a red bird sitting on a chalice. We've got a red moon. It feels like spring behind there with like, those aren't cherry blossoms. What are they called? I can't think of the name, but you know, it's like a spring bloom on the trees. We got lotuses down here. Yeah, I mean, I just get the sense, and this might help to answer that why this question, why a yes, is maybe because it's helping you to claim being Knight of Cups. Like maybe that's something that's in you you don't let out enough, and it will, by getting a yes here, it helps you to sort of embrace that archetype of being a little bit more emotionally passionate, fluid and theatrical and kind of expressive in a way. Maybe that's the why here, the bigger why. Getting a yes here can really help connect you to something a little more, yeah, just like a little bit more passionately emotive, a little bit more flamboyant, even dramatic, owning your energy. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what else to say here. We have our yes. There's something new coming in because of that. If you can get focused and really know what that yes means to you, it will take you further, and something about this is going to help you sort of embody yourself as a little bit more emotionally expressive or theatric or something like that. Yeah, well, I hope this resonates. If so, I always appreciate the things, like, share, subscribe, and definitely always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are.